Hello, friends. During my childhood days, I had read a story of Bishop's Candlestick written by uh, Norman MacKinnell. The story had taught me a great value, that is, what cannot be achieved through hatred and punishment can be achieved through love and kindness. Uh, the story or the play of Bishop's Candlesticks begins with a scene wherein we find a robber who was sentenced to jail gets into the house of the bishop. Bishop has a sister in the house who is a bit more practical. She is aware of the fact that her brother is every now and then being duped by people who come to him to seek help. And Bishop was a very kind man, kind hearted man, and he always used to uh, travel a long distance also in order to help someone, and later on only people used to find that someone had duped him. So here too she warns her brother that this person should not be given shelter in the house and asked to leave. But Bishop, when he looks at this person, this thief, he cannot ask him to leave the house because he appears to be in distress, and outside the weather was also not good. He uh, convinces his sister to give him food, and also asks her to make a place for him to stay overnight. Now, while having the food, the robber, he tells him about his past, and he tells him that he was put into the jail because he had stolen food for his hungry wife, for his starving wife. And on having been caught, he had tried to explain to the authorities the reason behind having stolen the food, but they had not shown any mercy to him and had sentenced him to 10 years of rigorous imprisonment. And the day he was put into the jail, he had got the news that his wife was dead. And then, of course, while having the food, he looks at the beautiful silver candlesticks which were lying on the mantelpiece of Bishop's house. Sister again looks at him with, say, a kind of worry that he is up to something, and warns her brother, but her brother, the bishop, doesn't listen to her. Now, before going to sleep, the bishop is warned by the robber. The robber, when he comes to know that he is bishop, he tells him, now you're not going to make any tricks, play any tricks on me, and try to change me, make me a religious person. I'm not going to do so. And he goes and tries to sleep. Meanwhile, the sister goes to her room, bishop goes off to his room to sleep. And in the night time, the robber is deeply concerned about the silver candlesticks. He is unable to resist the temptation of stealing them. He gets up, goes to them, picks up a bag, puts all the candlesticks into that, and stealthily goes out of the house. Next morning, the sister, when she sees the candlesticks missing, she goes to her brother, shouts at him, and tells him that, see, what I had predicted has come true. You always show kindness to people and people dupe you. And the bishop is a little upset that he had once again not judged the person properly. And meanwhile, what happens is the robber gets caught by the police, and the police, when they see those silver candlesticks with him, they recognize them to be that of the bishop, and they straight away bring that robber back with the bag of candlesticks, and they show it to the bishop. Now what happens? When the bishop sees all his silver candlesticks lying on the table, laid out on the table, by the police, and this robber is standing behind. He looks at the robber, looks at the police, and he knows very well that if he tells the police that yes, he had stolen them, he will go behind the bars for another 10 years, and maybe he will never come out till he is alive. So instead of telling that, he tells the police that, oh, you are mistaken. He hasn't stolen them from me. Rather, I gave it to him as a gift so that he could sell them off and make a living for himself. And the police people leave the place, and the robber looks at the bishop with a changed heart, and he feels that he was wrong throughout his life, and the kindness, the love, the concern, the understanding shown by Bishop totally changes this man, and he becomes a good person from there on. The story goes on to tell us that Bishop gives away those silver candlesticks to this man and tells him to make some money out of it and go in for a business, which he does. And later on, he becomes a big businessman, and he always remembers and tries to be grateful to the bishop. So, at times, love and kindness can attain what punishment cannot. So be kind, be good, try to understand the difficulties of other people, and you will change the world. We will make it more beautiful. Thank you.